Great. So what I was going to do, Persopsis is not a big part, is not a part of our innovation lab. We don't get funded for it. So what I wanted to do was to stress how our model of turning trash into treasure would be really good. So I'll start off, if Austin can speak, I'll start off asking him from his perspective. Can you actually speak now, please, Austin, and so we can hear you? Because at the moment I haven't heard you speaking. Can you unmute your microphone, please? Okay, there. Yeah.
Yes. Hi, all.
Hi, how are you doing, Austin?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. Do you have a camera on your phone or computer?
Yes, I'm using my phone.
Yeah.
I'm using my phone because the event has found me while in the field.
Excellent. That's the best place for you to be. This is really good. And I believe you're a consultant. Is that correct?
You believe him?
A consultant? John Maeka said you were a consultant. Can you tell me what you do?
Yes, I'm a consultant with a background in environmental conservation,
Uh-huh.
having done that for the last 6 years.
Excellent. And which county are you in? Are you in Bringo?
Yeah, I'm currently in Baringo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently
Okay.
in Baringo, where we are doing a few activities with the local farmers there.
Okay.
On an activity that is primarily focused on finding remedies to this particular tree called proposis.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Excellent.
Yeah, so this particular tree has been causing a lot of havoc to many farmers because initially, for a very long time, it has been a very, very good agroforestry species, but now over time, it has developed a lot of invasive properties or characteristics,
Mm-hmm.
which is making it very, very difficult for farmers to control it now.
Yeah, yeah. No, we know all about Prosopsis. We're very, very, very familiar with it and working extensively on it. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll start off the talking about how we would like to change the way in which we approach Prosopsis judiflora, and we would then talk a little bit to you first, and then I'll talk to John Maeka from his experience working with the Charcoal Producers Association in Baringo, and then Chelsea, who can talk about the pathways to making money from Prosopis, both through carbon credits and then also fertilizer. And so that will take up about maybe 15 minutes. And then we can have Dries come in and talk about his long-term studies at IITA, talking about the effectiveness of biochar as a replacement to synthetic-based fertilizers and its benefit. And then we'll come back as a group of four at the end to have general conversations. So that's the way it's going to work. Okay, excellent. And any questions for me? No. Okay, I'm gonna go upstairs because I realize I don't have my power cable here. I don't want to run out of electricity during the talk. Okay, any questions, John, Chelsea?
No, I'm good.
Perfect. Dries, so you going to talk about the maize long-term study plots?
Yeah, maize and also a bit deeper into the mechanisms that can explain why we are seeing these long-term effects.
Perfect.
And if time remains, I kept some slides on this upscaled estimation for maize trash into treasure that I made.
Sounds good. Okay.
Maybe quickly, what kind of audience will be in the room?
It's a very wide general audience. We actually haven't done that surveys yet to see where they're from, but I think a lot of them are Plant Village teams, but then you across the continent. And then there's also USAID people who come, and maybe some CG people also. So it's
Okay.
a bit of
So
or a lecture. It's really meant to be a discussion-based panel system.
okay, good to know.
Okay, 2 minutes. And who are you consulting for at the moment, Austin? Who are you consulting for at the moment?
I'm saying.
Who are you consulting for?
Can't hear you, Austin. Come closer to the microphone.
Did you hear me, Austin? Were you able to hear?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. So I'm asking if you guys are also hearing me from where I am.
Now I can. Yes, now I can.
Yes, I wanted to say that I'm currently.
Oh, I think it's because your microphone is not so close to you. Maybe. Yeah.
I'm saying.
Go ahead.
I'm saying that currently I'm consulting a private company in Kenya.
Are you perhaps holding your hand over the microphone? Change the position of your hand on the phone. Right now?
Are you hearing me now?
Now, I think you're obscuring the microphone with your hand. Okay, go ahead.
I think I should be loud enough now.
Yeah, now you're perfect. Yeah.
I'm saying.
Actually, what before you answer that question, let's just wait a moment because now it's 3 p.m. or 8 a.m. and we'll wait until when the audience starts. You can tell everybody what you do at that stage.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Okay, everybody, we're just waiting for a few minutes before we begin our third presentation from the Feed the Future Innovation Lab on current and emerging threats to crops. So back in a moment. Okay, everybody, welcome. We'll start. It's 5 minutes past now. So my name is David Hughes, and I'm the director of the USAID Current and Emerging Threats to Crops Innovation Lab here at Penn State University. And this is the third of our webinar stroke panel discussions. And so today, what we wanted to do was to focus in on opportunities for weeds. So a lot of the previous innovation lab, which was based at Virginia Tech, really had a large focus on weeds, particularly Partenium and also a little bit Lantana. And so weeds are essentially anything you don't like that's growing in the place where you want to grow food. And so it represents a major threat. So we in the current and emerging threats to crops innovation lab have worked extensively on Striga with partners like Toothpick. And Striga is a parasitic plant rather than a weed. And so as we've been looking around the various countries we've been engaged with, and particularly in Kenya, we've been very interested in changing the narrative on weeds, changing the way in which we're dealing with them. And so just to show you a little bit, here is the weed we're talking about today. It's called Mathenge. The Kenyan government has described it as a noxious weed. It is in the top 100 invasive pests around the world. And the plant itself is Prosopis juliflora, which was introduced into Kenya in the 1980s by UNFAO, and then also by NORAD and FINAID. Actually, in the Turkana language, the common name for this weed is called NORAD's nails, because it's representative of an introduction campaign which was done for the best of intentions, which was to prevent desertification, and then it just spread. And so what we want to do today is hear about this weed, and then hopefully set a framework for working on this and doing research for development on ways in which we can eradicate it. And in our model, we're proposing that rather than look at this as a economic problem, can we look at it as an economic opportunity? And especially if we can turn the invasive weed, Prosopis juliflora, into something that is valuable. And we'll come on to what that would be later on, and particularly a valuable soil amendment through biochar fertilizer. And so that brings in Dries Rubenbrecht, who is a senior researcher at the International Institute for Tropical Agriculture, and he's based in Nairobi. And he will be talking to us about the importance of biochar fertilizer for crop productions around maize. So the first person I wanted to bring into this conversation was Austin. And Austin is a consultant who's based in Baringo County, and I hope you can hear us. He's currently in the field today. So Austin, can you share with the audience the importance of this invasive weed, Prosopis or Mathenge, and why it's such a problem, please?
Thank you very much for your time.
Great, we can hear you well.
Thank you very much for your time. Like you've said, I'm currently working for an organization which is not only working in Baringo, but
now we've lost you again with the volume. Yeah, you're back. You're back. It's fine. That's good.
I am saying, hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
I am saying that I'm currently working as an associate consultant with a private company, an organization called King's Agricultural Services. And what King's Agricultural Services is doing currently is to working with farmers, both small scale and large scale, and also youth-led groups in trying to fight some of these things or some of these factors that are making agricultural sustainability and food security to become an issue. So currently in Baringo, we are working with over 350 youths. And our primary focus in Baringo, in partnership with KEFRI, the Kenya Forest Research Institute, is to try and find ways through which we can control the invasive effects or impacts of Prosopis juliflora. And as you had put it quite well during the introductory bit of your speech, you said that this is a tree, but at the moment it is becoming more classified as a weed as compared to its impacts as a primary tree. So Mathenge, as we formally refer to it in these areas, going by the name Prosopis juliflora, is a tree that was introduced in Kenya in the early 1970s or thereabouts. As at that time, or as at that point in time, the main reason why it was introduced was to help fight desertification and what we'll also call soil erosion. Baringo, as a county within Kenya, is one of the counties that has faced or that has experienced the ravaging impact of climate change for a very long time. And being a large county in terms of statistic and even demographically, and even the nearby counties, and most of the people who are living there are primarily pastoralists. So because they were keeping large herds of livestock and, they routine, their nature, socially, they move with these large herds of cattle from one place to another. So over time, there was a total reduction in the ground cover, which necessitated what we call soil erosion. And with soil erosion, if it exists anywhere, there's a higher possibility of agricultural productivity being greatly impacted there negatively. So that is one of the reasons why the government of Kenya, through other partners, then thought it wise to have this particular tree so that it could be used to address that issue of desertification, because being a xerophytic plant, a plant that can sustainably grow in a dry area, which is characteristic of Baringo and other counties which are found around there, it was found to be one of the best trees that could have been used to address that particular menace as at that time. So over time, this particular tree has become too much. It has overgrown. Being a xerophytic plant, it spreads its lateral roots, which over time is making it very, very difficult for most people, especially the farmers who initially embrace it positively, to control it, just like other species of agroforest trees which are also growing around this area. So other than the aspect of fighting desertification and also having a positive impact in line with reduction or prevention of soil erosion, this particular tree has been widely used by the immediate communities here as a source of income. How? It is widely used as a source of income because, are we together? I hope I'm still clear.
Yeah, you're perfect. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, it has been used as a source of income because as it grows, farmers can use it as a fuel, as a wood fuel. At the same time, it can also be used to burn charcoal, which can be used to improve the living standard of people who are around this area. Other than that, the leaves of Jurisflora are also, based on research that have been done over time, has been found to be very, very, very rich as a supplementary diet to the goats. And I'd say that most people in this particular area are primarily pastoralists. So they're keeping large herds of animals, and these animals include both cows at the same time, they're sheep, at the same time, they're goats. So the goats are feeding primarily on the leaves of Jurisflora, and it has been found to be a very rich dietary supplement.
Great. Okay. So, well, thank you so much for that. That's a really good framing. I want to bring in John Maeka now, who's is part of Plant Village Kenya, and he's been working a lot in